This is some footage from about a year ago, but due to recent events, it's been really hard for me to go back and look at this footage. But this was from our last family trip to Hawaii. I wanted to use this video as an opportunity to talk a little bit about what it was like being raised by two Asian parents. Also, side note, this is around the time I was told not to just pet stray cats in case they give you various diseases. Luckily, I did not get a disease from this. It would have been a terrible start to the trip, but worth it? Yeah. This was the view right outside of where we were staying, and we took lots of walks around here. Right?
Yeah.
Hello. Day 2 in Hawaii. We have these leather-looking leaves, and it is about 8 a.m. and we are going to look at volcanoes today. And there are stray kitties around here and people meditating, and yeah.
So around this time of the trip, I was kind of going through a little bit more of a challenging time in my life when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do next, and I was also figuring out the relationship that I have with my parents and how that has changed as I've grown to become an adult. So the thing with having Asian parents is, at least from my experience, they tend to have a very hands-on approach, and they, from when you're young, put in a lot of effort into trying to make sure you have the best life possible. And this is coming from my immigrant parents who came to the US about 40 some years ago. So I think that the culture that they grew up with, they didn't spend a lot of time, also in that generation, thinking about what they wanted out of life or what their feelings and thoughts were about who they themselves were. And I think that leads to not quite having that foundation before you go on to become an adult and raise your own family. As I continue to live in my 30s and realize how much effort that they put into raising me, from helping me with schoolwork after their work hours or bringing me to practice after their work hours, I really think about the sacrifices that they made during their 30s and 40s and 50s to continue to provide the best possible life situation they could for their kids. So for this part of the day, we were waiting around for the sun to set, and you can see as it gets darker, the volcano gets a lot more visible, and it gets a lot more exciting to watch. So originally, I had done an entire voiceover going through basically the stages of my life and how I got to where I am today. And then I decided that a lot of it was actually really emotional. It was about the level of personal that I was okay with sharing, but it just felt like it didn't really fit with this footage, and it was at a really emotional time of my life, which was just a few days ago. And so now I'm re-recording this, trying to go over my thoughts with a little bit more of a clear mind. I think one of the most important things that I've had to learn recently is learning to think and feel for myself. I think when you're close to people, for example, like family members, especially when you've kind of grown up just being close to them and caring about what they think, what their thoughts are, it becomes a little bit harder to separate what you think yourself from what you're expected to think.
You will come here. You will come here. Let me now. I want to open the shop with me.
开始了吗？
That's the shower.
Yeah. 你今天玩了好多 sprinkle。
Sprinklers.
Okay.
Okay.
好了。
A highlight of my trip was getting to enjoy some of the local fruits and also playing with the local vegetation. They are similar to the types of fruits and plants that grow in Taiwan due to the tropical weather. This was one of the more low-effort waterfall hikes. You basically drive up to a parking lot and you pay to park there so you can walk on paved road to look at the waterfall, which is kind of behind a chain-link fence.
Make sure 他不会跌倒。
他比我厉害。
65 going to be
47. Okay. Looking great. Able to drive with one hand still, looking really relaxed.
你看右边有人在 hiking. Oh my god.
Lots of lava rocks.
Yeah, what they're doing here, you know. 热死了. They say if you hike in the lava area, 那个 temperature 会增加几度，因为
Whoa, wait, is that real? Oh, it's moving. Aloha. Aloha.
哇，他真的看你。
Aloha.
嘴巴还
Oh, there's another one. Look over there. Hula dance. Use your arms. Use your arms. Like this. Together, to the side. Together hula dance.
不要。
近一点，不要那个 block the sun.
Oh, Daddy looks really tall.
你应该上台去表演。Okay, stop.
Day 3. No longer homeless. She's found a home.
Yeah, with my coconuts.
Shortly after the luau-inspired beach dance, we went on a coffee farm tour, and it was really cool to see the coffee beans on the tree and see how they are harvested and sample the different coffee they have there.
It's a gorgeous yellow fruit with a luscious pink center. Now, if you've had pod yet, passion fruit, orange, and guava juice, 1/3 the component went in. that is not very big, even though it's not very happy looking. That was probably 7 to 9 years old. Now trees, the instant guacamole on our lava rock. So this way we stand down here with our telescoping pole, harvesting these beauties. Now this tree, flower seed. Now we do have an amazing fruit stand in South Kona, about 20 minutes south of here on Mama Fruit. You can watch them do it.
Something cool we learned on the tour was if you twist off the top of a pineapple, the leafy prickly part, and you make sure the little roots are still at the bottom and attached, like you don't chop off the top but you kind of twist it off, you can grow a pineapple, and it'll be a mini pineapple, and it takes 1 to 2 years. So it looks like this. You soak it in water, but not enough so the top rots, and then apparently you can grow a pineapple. And they had examples of these mini pineapples there, so I was really excited to try it at home. I have tried multiple times twisting off the tops, putting it in water, letting it soak. Have had no luck so far with my pineapple farm, but I will continue to experiment. This is like a free plant. After the coffee farm tour, we went to check out this National Historical Park, and then we headed back to the hotel for sunset, which is actually one of the most beautiful parts of the day.
Bye-bye, son. 28 days to go. We're staying here for 3 days. Malash. Not too bad. Oh! Yeah. Do that again. To the side. To the side. Yeah. And then the other side. Pigunyo. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
If there's anything that I've learned in the past couple of years, it's that the relationship you have with your parents and your family is going to be continuously changing, especially if they are around or have been around for a lot of your life. I often have people ask me or comment in person or online about how they kind of wish they had a relationship like I do with my parents. And I would have to say it's something that we have had to work on, and I am definitely closer now, especially to my mom, than I have been in the past. And growing up, we had a lot of conflicts, like we didn't see eye to eye about a lot of things, and I think a lot of it has to do with the culture and the generation and the different upbringings that we've had. But it definitely takes work from both ends, and you have to continue to work on it.
Oh, it's surfacing. Oh. Turtle.
看到我们吓一跳。
哦，好快。
And I remember ever since I was really young, I was aware that one day my parents would both pass at some point, and I would have to live with that, assuming that based off of average lifespan, I'll be around after they pass. And that was one of the things where when I was like in maybe elementary school, I would remember laying in bed at night and just kind of praying for the health and longevity of my parents. Praying in the sense that I didn't really grow up with a religious structure, but I was just think to whatever power's out there, just please let me have a lot of time with my parents. And that was like me maybe over 20 years ago, and I still think that I value the time I have with family, especially as my parents are in their 60s, and I just know as you go through the later parts of your life, you get more deconditioned faster, you might have health issues, and so every trip we take or every time I get to see them on the weekends really means a lot, because I know that there's just a finite amount of times and memories that we can make. I'm definitely thankful that we had this time to hang out in Hawaii, and I decided to jump in the kiddie pool that was probably full of pee for fun because they had a water slide, and since I was wet already, I did it twice.
On the right side, there are more.
There's so many.
Yeah.
It's just right here this whole time. Wow. Resorts, petroglyphs, golf course.
So right before we left, we found the petroglyphs that we had been looking for half the trip. They were just hidden in plain sight. I also had the chance to do a Reiki session for the first time because our hotel offered that, and it was something that was really cool. I definitely felt the energy, and yeah, then we took off.